Alright, YouTube. Let's do this. I've heard so many great things about this. The character quest for Cloud Retainer, the mommy quest. I'm hyped. I heard it was really good. It seems like it's going to be awesome. She seems like such a cool character. I mean, like, let's be honest. Genshin knows what they're doing when they create these characters. Right? They know exactly what they're doing. They created so many absolute dummy mommies. And I love how they're flipping the script here, where with the Knave and now with Cloud Retainer, you have that character that's like, ooh, you know what I mean? Like, ooh. But instead of like that, like, mean kind of presence to them, that mean kind of, like dommy mommy attitude, they have like such a sweet loving mother that is so supportive and just so great with her kids. And I love how they started making the past few characters like that, like I said with the Knave and Cloud Retainer. Shut up, Paimon. um but I'm excited. I think that she's such a cool character. I love how she is with Raiden's dead, isn't she? If Raiden's dead, man, I'm gonna be so annoyed that they do that. She got mad. She's like, oh, you don't like the Dami mommies anymore? Okay, I'm done. Hasta la vista.
Do you still remember the first time we came here? We even brought offerings and everything. And when we told her that Rex Lapis had been assassinated,
Yeah, it felt like so long ago.
To squash Liyue Harbor. Paimon thought she'd be impossible to get along with. We probably don't need to bring any offerings now that we've gotten to know her pretty well, right? Still, Paimon's got some Huh? Traveler? Did some... Whoa. What a pretty lady. Is she also here to visit Cloud Retainer? Yeah, you're right. All it takes is one look and you can tell she's someone special. As expected of that bird lady. Okay, but if we're both friends of Cloud Retainer, then we're basically friends by association, right?
I love how Paimon just uses delusion with all of her decision makings. Like, the way that she gets to certain ideas and certain conclusions is so funny. Paimon's job as your reliable guide. How many times have we been like, yo, Paimon, where's this? And Paimon's like, I don't know. I feel like Paimon's as new to this place as we are.
Paimon is... Paimon doesn't think we've met, but we're also friends.
You two, what is this tomfoolery? Has this shift in form so clouded your eyes that you no longer recognize one anymore?
How did you expect us to recognize her?
Wait, you're... Huh? You're the illuminated bird? But
Well, I look disgusted. I'd like, sweet, nice.
Oh, donning human form is scarcely any test of one's abilities. As for your confusion, one merely had no reason to indulge such inclinations before.
So, you're indulging now
Well, one has made plans to pay a visit to some disciples at Liyue Harbor. Taking on a human form for such a trip is simply a way to make matters less conspicuous.
You? Worrying about keeping a low profile? You're the one who likes to pop up out of nowhere all over the place. In fact, Paimon can think of several examples. Like last year, when you suddenly appeared on the top of a roof with no warning. Or...
That reminds me, I hope that we have more embarrassing stories from Cloud Retainer of Shenhe and Ganyu. Those have been my favorite kind of moments in the story relating those three, is when she was just like, oh yeah, like here's an embarrassing story about when they're little, and they get all embarrassed, and like, God, like shut up. That's like my favorite. I hope we have more interactions like that, and hopefully Shenhe and Ganyu are in this. I'd really like that. Seeing her like motherly side would be really cool, because the trailer of her, like the teaser, was really awesome kind of seeing that. Like I said, the new like mommies that Genshin's creating instead of the Dami mommies where they're, you know, nice, but then you see that like really motherly side is just awesome, and hope that this is gonna be full of that. Brought some gifts. Could we just give Paimon as the gift?
Hey, didn't we agree not to bring that up unless she asked?
Oh? So you have taken care to follow the proper rules of etiquette after all. Most commendable.
Well, this is all Paimon's got. You don't mind, right?
One has never found oneself lacking in basic comforts. On the contrary, it is the gesture that one values above all else.
That kinda makes Paimon feel a little guilty for trying to keep them for herself. Anyway, where were leave before you reminded Paimon about the gifts. Ah, right. So by disciples, you must mean Ganyu and Shenhe. It's also been a while since we last saw them.
Perfect.
Maybe they could come too.
I hope that she's not talking about Ganyu and Shenhe though, because considering them disciples, it sounds weird.
One planned to extend the invitation even if you had not raised the matter yourself. Shenhe and Ganyu should be quite pleased to see you again. However, one would first inquire as to the reason behind your visit here. You have cause to seek one's company?
Yeah, we just found ourselves missing you and wanted to see how you were doing. We were hoping you'd tell us one of your stories. Who knew we'd run into your human form while we were out?
Is that if there are no urgent matters at hand, then let us make haste for Liyue Harbor. Ganyu is likely still working at Yuehai Pavilion, so that shall be our first.
Sounds great! Then let's all go to Liyue Harbor!
I really wonder what this is going to be about.
Shenhe has also secured employment recently. In her correspondence with me, she wrote that she shall have no need to return for the foreseeable future. Huh. Did they think one was so easily mollified?
She's definitely dead that time.
We're almost at Weihai Pavilion. Hey, do you think Ganyu will be shocked to see Cloud Retainer like this?
She's not going to be phased at all.
Guess we have no idea if Shenhe and Ganyu have ever seen her in this form before. Wait, where did she go? Why are you just standing there, Cloud Retainer?
Quietly now. One shall stay here. You two can go and meet with her.
But why?
If one were to proudly proclaim one's presence, Ganyu would surely profess herself otherwise unoccupied and drop everything to attend to one's visit. One fears that would only result in her staying up all night to make up for lost time. One does not wish to trouble her. Conversing vicariously via you two shall suffice. Do remember to inquire as to her recent well-being. Again, do not mention one's presence here.
Fair enough. Makes sense. All right, then. We'll just pass...
Cloud Retainer?
Oh,
Oh. Busted.
Is that lady someone you know, Miss Ganyu? She is indeed. I'm sorry, Huixin, but could we delay the upcoming meeting for a little bit? I believe my schedule today is quite full. Although, perhaps I could move some work to later in the evening.
She knew it would have gone you perfectly.
Oh, not to worry, Miss Ganyu. I'll make the necessary arrangements right away.
Thank you.
I'm surprised they don't give Ganyu helpers.
Greetings. What brings you here today? And Cloud Retainer, too. It's been quite some time since I last saw you in this form.
you are quite mistaken. One is not acquainted with this Cloud Retainer of whom you speak. One is simply a mere mortal passerby.
Because that's how normal people speak.
Seems she's not buying it.
That was but a simple test. One did not expect you to be able to recognize one so easily, especially after so many years of only seeing one's other form.
But recognizing you is, my responsibility as your disciple.
Can we like sign up for this discipleship that they keep speaking of? Like, I'll hand in a resume.
An apt observation.
Can you imagine as if when we landed on that beach, this is who appeared instead of Paimon? Can you imagine how much better this would be? Just saying. Just saying.
One was simply passing by while attending to some important business. One thought it would only be fitting to pay you a visit while in the area.
Wait, Paimon wasn't aware of any important... Oh.
See? Would have been so much better if we woke up and she was there for our journey to be our guide than Potato. And I say it with love. I love Paimon, but...
Cloud Retainer's right. We still got something super important to do, so we can't stay here for too long today.
Oh, is that so? But it's been so long since we last saw each other.
Do you believe that?
One simply desired to see you and had no intention of interrupting your work. A quick conversation should suffice for today. A more involved reunion should wait until you find your...
I understand. That should be fine.
While one acknowledges the amount of work that you have to deal with every day, one must also remind you to rest. Though Adepti blood flows through your veins, excessive exhaustion will still cause grave harm to your body. It still makes one nostalgic to see you as you are now, respected and independent. When you were young, you oft begged one to cuddle you to sleep when you suffered from nightmares.
Yes! We finally got it. What was that? 10 minutes in? Like 10 minutes in, we already got the embarrassing stories from when they were kids.
Cloud Retainer! Stop!
If you insist. We are running short on time.
She was getting ready to go for a
so
whole
one will
story.
refrain from going into each and every story.
Yep.
Why don't you continue your conversation? One shall simply stand by and listen.
Wow, you've been to so many new places since the last time we spoke. If you ever need anything, also, forgive me for my presumptuousness, Cloud Retainer, but if you plan to continue appearing in this form, don't you think it'd be helpful
Wait,
to
if
adopt a
Ganyu's
human?
offering, if we need anything, like, yeah, can I take her up on that? I need Mora, I need XP books, I need crystals to level up some weapons, I need elemental crystals to ascend characters. I need a whole lot. I don't think there's a whole lot of resources in this game, and if Ganyu's got the stash and she's offering, I hope we can go visit her and take her up on that. I'd appreciate
A
that.
name? Huh. You raise a valid point. Considering the sheer extent of one's renown, Cloud Retainer is surely too recognizable as a name.
You really think so? Not that you're not famous or anything, but that famous?
You presume to know the extent of one's illustrious achievements. One would hardly think such a thing to be possible. Nevertheless, Ganyu's advice cannot be ignored. From this point on, when in public occasions, be sure to refer to one as Xianyun.
Xianyun?
I assume that's a reference to the full record of Pristine Pavilion. An adeptus of years past would rise with the clouds and rest with the moon. They were enlightened and wise, free and unfettered. The writer referenced Master's name to describe her carefree and spontaneous nature.
Oh, that sounds super cool! Paimon feels like only the most powerful of Adepti could rise with the clouds and rest with the...
Actually, those lines were originally written to describe Cloud Retainer herself.
Huh? Wait, so you're really that powerful?
And what of it? Did you truly take one to be nothing more than a bird of bigger than average size?
Not exactly.
To be fair, Cloud Retainer rarely speaks of her past accomplishments. The tales of her past can only be found in ancient texts. It is said that once, a long, long time ago, there was a severe drought in Liyue. Left with no choice, many people left their homes, while others spent day and night praying to the Adepti. Although I did not live through such tragedy, simply reading about it is enough to gain a visceral understanding of all the pain and desperation during that time. On top of the drought, a noxious gas also began to spread through the land. If not for Cloud Retainer's efforts, much of Liyue would be nothing more than a barren wasteland
I feel like it is.
today.
Like, I don't really like Liyue. I feel like it is just a barren wasteland that's kind of mountainy, and it's just kind of
The books had this to say about
Except
what
for the new
happened.
area. New area is sick.
Upon arrival, the Adeptus borrowed the wind to retain the clouds. Immediately, the clouds gathered together, and abundant rain burst forth from the heavens. Drought and plague were both driven away, and the people were saved.
That's incredible!
Mortal records add embellishments to dramatize past events. One did merely what one ought, and even if one had not interceded, the other Adepti would surely have stepped in to help.
Even so, you stopped an entire drought! Can you really control the weather like the book said? Oh, Paimon suddenly has a lot more respect for you. So it was Paimon's bad for calling you Illuminated Bird before.
How laughable. A name is but a simple label we carry with us on our journey through the world. Why,
that's a relief. In that case, Paimon will continue to call you whatever feels right in the moment.
Well, that is quite enough ancient history for now. Ganyu, have you had word from Shenhe? One has heard that she procured a job recently. Have you any thoughts on her workplace? And what, pray tell, of her monthly remuneration? Moreover, does she find herself overly inundated with work? Is she allowed time off during Lantern Rite?
That is a lot of questions.
She's so worried, though.
There is no cause for concern, Cloud Retainer. I introduced Shenhe to her employer personally. Wanmin Restaurant's business has been booming recently.
Oh.
So, with Chef Mao being swamped with customers, and Shangling still off and out in search of new recipes, I introduced Shenhe to staff the restaurant.
I feel like Shenhe wouldn't be the greatest as a server or like a waitress. Just because her personality is just very quiet and serious. I couldn't imagine Shenhe coming up and be like, "May I take your order?" Water, and just hand you like a frozen cup of water. Just freezes everything.
Most excellent indeed.
All the food turns
One
cold.
has had the pleasure of being introduced to that family. Shangling is kind and astute, while her father is loyal and reliable. One has no Now, it is almost time to partake in the victuals of...
Huh? But didn't you just say that you had something important to do?
Can that wait until after we've eaten?
You may return to your work, on you. One shall see to this matter on one's own. There will be many an occasion to dine together in the future. One is certain the opportunity...
Of course, Cloud Retainer. Please take care. Traveler, Paimon?
See you around, Ganyu!
Oh, there's Shenhe.
You get what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, how can I not? Not even fine food is enough to distract from the presence of a fine lady.
Oh, I'm far more interested in getting her details than ordering any dishes. Hey,
She'd
how about you
break
ask-
them in a heartbeat.
You do it.
No. I think you should. Wait, she's coming.
What can I get for you today?
Greetings, miss. I was just wondering if you'd be willing to...
Please crash and burn. Like, I just want it to be funny.
What would you like to order?
Told you, she's very serious. She's not as shy as I remembered, but still very serious.
Bye.
Shenhe!
Welcome. It's been a while. May I take your...
Don't welcome us as guests and greet us as old friends in the same line. It's weird.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and this is?
This is Miss Xianyun.
Master?
Huh?
One does not recall ever revealing this form to you before. How were you able to ascertain one's true identity with such ease?
With Ganyu, she tried to put on the whole front. Like, no, don't know what you're talking about. No. But with Shenhe, she's like, oh, nice.
I've trained and lived with Master for more than 10 years. I would recognize you no matter what form you take.
You...
Is something the matter, Master?
Hardly. One simply learned of your employment from your letter and came to check on your well-being.
Shenhe's definitely her favorite, like, by far. By far. She tried gaslighting Ganyu, like, no, you don't know who I am. Sorry, wrong person. And then, like, tried not talking to her. But with Shenhe, she's like, hey, like, let's talk. Like, how you doing? Let me check up on you. Like, oh my god, you remembered me? Thank you. Like, how'd you recognize me? Definitely her favorite.
And she
Poor
has
Ganyu.
great food, too.
Indeed. It's almost lunchtime. My apologies. I'm still on the clock and can't talk for very long.
Well, if it isn't the Traveler and Paimon, the lunch rush isn't in yet, Shenhe. So I've got things covered for now. Go ahead, sit down and enjoy some time with your friends. I'll let you know if things pick up.
Thank you.
Woohoo!
It is just as one expected. The owner of Wanmin Restaurant is indeed a most reasonable and Still, the work here entails dealing with quite a varied group of people. Has this been difficult for you, Shenhe?
It's been manageable so far. I sometimes run into strange people, but I have figured out a way to deal with them.
I can't wait for this.
Seems like you've been making progress.
Wait.
So by
Yeah.
dealing with them, you mean...
First, I try to talk sense into them. If that doesn't work, I threaten them with violence. At this point, they usually decide they are in favor of a civil conversation.
I know. I threaten them with violence. To be honest, I try to talk some sense to them. I feel like it's physical violence. That's what I feel like that is. I try to talk some sense to them is like hurting them, but like that's really an appetizer for Shenhe, and then I threaten them with violence. Like generations of their family will feel this pain. Honestly, if I had a restaurant, I'd hire Shenhe. Absolutely. There's those restaurants out there that just bully you. She'd be phenomenal for that. She'd be so good at that kind of job.
How should Paimon put this?
Oh, a sensible plan. One is gladdened to see you integrate so well into human society.
Again, Shenhe's her favorite. By far.
And you, Master? How have you been?
Simply marvelous. Though Mount Outsong has scarcely enjoyed your presence recently, one has hardly found the pleasure of one's own company to be lacking.
I see. Oh, just as expected of Master. I have missed Master quite a bit too. Even though work has been busy lately, I've already had a conversation with Chef Mao about taking some time off soon to visit Master.
That's probably why. Shenhe visits her, Ganyu doesn't. I wonder who is older. I think you guys know the lore, so you probably can know this answer really easily. I know Ganyu's pretty old. Is Ganyu the oldest? And then Shenhe's the youngest? But that's how it seems. This is the favorite. You know, always taking time off to go visit her and spend time with her, while Ganyu's like pretty busy, and then the Cloud Retainer, you know, clearly has a favorite.
Oh, you did? Do make note of such matters in your letters in the future. There's hardly a need to keep one in suspense.
See, Ganyu was like, oh, I want to visit you, hang out with you. And she's like, no, you're busy. Like, it's cool. Stay where you are. Shenhe's like, oh, like, I want to visit you. And she's like, yes, thank you. I appreciate that. I love that. The mountain's so much better with you around.
Whoa. Her mood shot up just like that.
Yeah, see?
By the way, Master, since you are in Liyue Harbor, have you had the chance to visit Ganyu?
Indeed. She is similarly preoccupied with her work. There was time only to exchange a few simple
Because you ran away. You're like, no, you know what? We're busy. We gotta go. And she's like, I thought you're busy. You're gonna hang out with Shenhe and eat? Like, yeah.
Ganyu told us the story of Cloud Retainer's name. It was amazing. We never knew how powerful she was before.
I see. In that case, allow me to also share a story about Master's past.
Oh?
Is that a problem, Master? I believe this to be a good topic of conversation.
No, not a problem. One was simply caught off guard. But no matter. Please, proceed. One is most curious to see how much of one's own conversational prowess you possess.
Master once participated in a race against Mooncarver. After Mooncarver lost, he insisted that Master's ability to fly gave her a natural edge in such a contest. In response, Master agreed to forego flying in return for being able to use one of her devices in the race. Mooncarver accepted, only to find Master with a brand new device on the day of the contest.
Huh. What kind of
It was a mechanical vehicle made out of iron. What was it called again? Oh, an electro-powered bicycle?
Oh, you refer to the bicyclical Thunder Flashmobile. One spent 49 days conceptualizing and crafting it. It need only be infused with adeptal energy, and it can cover thousands of miles in one day. Oh, it boggles the mind why Mooncarver ever supposed he might best me in a contest of locomotion. Though he sprinted with all his might, he could barely keep up. Alas, the one flaw of my mechanism lay in its weakness against mountainous terrain. One was thwarted mere seconds from victory, when it was thrown off course and failed to make it across the final stretch. Truly a most unfortunate turn of events. Anyway, do go on.
Master, that was the end of that story.
Is that so? Huh. With you gone, one has seldom felt the desire to call upon those old fossils for another contest. What is a race without spectators, after all?
Have you been lonely, Master?
Lonely? Huh. At one's age, entire human generations come and go in the blink of an eye. Even one's own self-directed musings can span several days and nights. 'Tis a most foreign sentiment. The mere mention of it is preposterous. What is the reason for that look upon your face?
It's nothing. It's just... Well, Paimon gained a lot of respect for you after listening to that story of you summoning the rain and everything. But all it took was a few words out of your mouth, and it's like you're back to being that illuminated bird again.
Honestly, people are like, Paimon, I love that she's a savage. I love how she just comes at people, and it's like so second nature to her.
I was just a little bit confused. Which one of the two is the real Cloud Retainer?
To me, they are both, Master. One is the Master that's widely revered by the people, while the other is the Master that I respect and adore.
Huh. One finds oneself exalted yet again with sweet words of praise and flattery of a most extravagant nature. You chose to exalt one with your words, yet you refuse to grace Mount Outsong with your presence for any extended period of time. One would almost question the sincerity of your estimations. This is not to say that your words paint an inaccurate picture. One has always lived by a single ideal. Eschew all action and abide by no rule. One does as one pleases and speaks as one pleases. Others may critique or praise as they see fit, yet one places little weight in such judgments.
She got like, what, 2 sentences of flattery from her disciple, and it's as if her ego is about to burst.
Do you have any empty tables?
Hey there, could we get another fish dip?
I'm hearing more guests come in. I should get back to work.
All right, good luck with the lunchtime rush, Shenhe.
I'll try my best.
Yo, can we see her, like, body slam someone through a table? That'd be cool. That's what I wanted to happen when those 2 guys tried to hit on her. I was hoping that she was going to do something like that. That would have been so funny.
So much yummy food! Paimon's gonna feast!
One is fond of all kinds of delicacies and delights in a multitude of flavors. The dishes here
Just say
demonstrate
yes.
no shortage of culinary skill. Their unique flavor profile has left one more than satisfied. In fact, one has been struck by quite the fit of inspiration. One has already begun to conceptualize the next generation of supreme cuisine machine.
Everything's so tasty! A bit too hot at times, but still super...
I'm sorry, miss, but our tables are full.
Shall we try somewhere else, Granny?
But it smells so delightful. Can we really not?
Well, you could always check with some of the other guests and...
Okay, Excuse me. Would you mind letting us share a table with you? Ah, well, Paimon doesn't mind. What about you guys? Great! Thanks so much. My name is Shuyu, and this is my granny, Yuendai. Granny? Yep. Is there something wrong with that? No, Paimon's just a bit surprised. She looks so young. Yeah, a lot of people compliment Granny on her youthful looks, but she's actually much older than she appears.
I think she looks old. I'm not going to lie.
Granny? Why don't
They
you
should
take a
have
seat?
made her
Come on,
look
it's
younger,
not polite
because
to
then it would have
stare.
made more sense there. But I don't know. I don't know what Paimon's seeing. And usually Paimon's the one to throw a jab, which is I'm surprised. It's Uno reverse here.
Oh, have we met before?
No.
Tis a fated meeting, then. Please, take a seat.
What would you like to eat, Granny? I can order for you.
I want braised earthworms. They
Sounds
always
disgusting.
pop up out of the ground after a rainstorm.
No, not this again. Granny. Braised earthworms? Well, that sounds weird. Do people actually eat that? Right, that's what Paimon was thinking too.
Can we convince Paimon to eat them? Can that be like a thing?
Need any help? Help?
Oh, do you mean with Granny? Thanks, that's nice of you to offer. Granny has pretty bad dementia, so her memory's getting worse all the time.
Wouldn't have
She's
guessed
always
she's
saying
so
things
young.
that sound kinda confusing.
Dementia already?
Actually, her memory's been bad ever since I was little. But it's gotten so bad lately that I even have to remind her who I am every morning.
Aww. That actually
We
sucks.
died young. It's just me and Granny. Oh, but it's okay. Don't feel bad. Granny loves me a lot, and I love her a lot too. Sure, it's hard at times, but you just gotta make the best of the life you've got.
Wow.
What a good kid.
You're really tough for
Taking
your
care
age,
of her
kid.
grandma.
And me? Oh, what about me?
You're tough too, Granny. Plus, you're really gentle, and you're always there for me.
Yes, and it's hardly as if I forget everything. I still remember the important things. Wait, what was that really important thing again?
Worms.
Ah, I remember now. It was a dream. I had a dream where everything was dark. Someone was standing in front of me. She told me to come and find her, and that once I'd found her, I would be free.
Huh? That sounds super important. But how come you've never told me about it before?
It was just a dream, so I forgot about it. But I'm in a good mood now, and somehow I remembered it again. Ah, you know,
Yo.
I've had this dream a good
Wrestling
times,
is-
but just how many times?
It's like it's
have I
turns to,
had it?
shut up.
Now
Stop
that
talking, Granny.
I do not remember.
Don't tell him about that time.
Wait, so you have a reoccurring dream
About to
where
take her
someone's
out.
talking to you? That sounds spooky. Oh, does that mean you're possessed?
Yo, she's like, Paimon, don't start thinking, man. If you find out I'm possessing people, I'm going to take you out too. She's ready. She's ready to throw hands.
Unlikely. Her eyes are clear and her breathing remains calm and level.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it sounds like someone would say that is possessing
Who do
people.
you take me for? Is one not an adept? Am I
Getting
not
defensive.
an expert?
Huh, you're right. Paimon almost forgot you're the expert. In that case, do you still remember what the person in your dreams looked like, Granny?
Not anymore. Although, I have a sense that she looked rather like me. But not as I am now.
She's eyeballing Cloud
My
Detainer.
younger self.
A younger version of Granny?
This is just getting weirder and weirder. What is going on here?
As one said, fate must have brought us together. You may leave this situation to me.
Are you... So, what are your names?
Paimon's Paimon.
Just Xianyun is fine.
Thank you all so much for offering to help. But first, I'm sorry for asking, but,
Oh, we don't need any payment for this.
Did someone kidnap Paimon? She was nice to the old lady calling her young. And Paimon doesn't want money? Usually she's gouging people for money. Like, how much is it going to be? You know, kids need help? How much more are we getting? And Catherine's always like, calm down, Paimon.
thank you.
You're welcome. But Miss Xianyun, what exactly can we do to help out this Granny? All we have to go off is that dream.
That is elementary. Since her dreams portray her younger self, then we shall retrace the steps of her youth. Once we have revisited those places...
Sounds like a plan. So, Granny...
Why, of course I do. The heavens above, the earth below, the wispy clouds.
Okay, taking that as a no.
Taking that as a no.
Might have an idea. Once, when I was really little, my dad told me that Granny used to be a martial artist heroine who saved loads of people from a disaster. If it's true, then maybe they wrote about it in the history books or something.
A martial arts heroine? Oh, Shinto knows tons about Liyue's chivalric traditions.
Are you leaving already?
I'll go order some food, Granny. If there's nothing on the menu you especially want.
It seems we must part ways for now. The Traveler and Paimon are bound for the Feiyun Commerce Guild, while Yuendai and Shuyu shall remain here and partake of their lunch. As for myself, I have matters to discuss with Streetward Rambler.
Streetward Rambler?
Precisely. Let us meet at Yujing Terrace once you are ready.
Alright, pretty good so far. I'm guessing the quest is going to be about the dream. And I'm going to take a shot in the dark that they know each other. In all seriousness, I think that's why Cloudy Tanner was side-eyeing her a bit. I think they recognized each other.
Huh. It's you two.
Oh, you know what that probably is? I don't think she has dementia. Because she said she's had dementia since she was little, but she looks like a little kid, so it probably was been a couple of years. But she was probably cursed or something, and that's why her memory is really bad. And whenever she finds that person, they're going to set her free, and I think it might be Cloudy Tanner, but I don't know. I'm assuming she's cursed. I'm assuming they know each other.
Xingqiu! Great, we found you! We wanted to ask you about something.
That's not a whole lot of information to go off of. I can't pinpoint her identity from your description alone. But considering her age, I am reminded of a nameless heroine who's been featured in various chivalric novels.
I'm surprised they're not wearing their new outfits.
That's right. The novels often speak of a great drought from 50 years ago. As the people suffered, a nameless heroine appeared and began to clear away evil spirits and bandit camps. All they knew was that she always acted alone. Later, though, she supposedly fell in love with a similarly noble-minded exorcist from Mount Tianheng. They were well matched in more ways than one, often fighting together as a fearsome duo of otherworldly strength. After the drought ended, the heroine and the exorcist left the public eye and began living a reclusive life in the mountains. All that remained were tales of her incredible accomplishment. The way this nameless heroine faded from fame into obscurity later in life is not too dissimilar from Miss Yuendai.
Thanks a lot, Xingqiu. We knew it'd be worth talking.
It's nothing at all. Just something I came across while reading. I did do a bit of extra research on her story.
Well, Paimon still thinks that's super cool. Oh, wait, Xingqiu, if you've read up...
Let me think. In the novels, the nameless heroine always appeared near one of three places. Wangshu Inn, the area just north of Jueyun Karst, and Qingyun Peak. Perhaps the real-life heroine who inspired the character was also often seen near those three places. That would explain why those... You're welcome. To be honest, I found some parts of the story confusing when I first came across it. It's rare for a chivalric hero to fade into obscurity during their lifetime, even after retiring from the public eye. But no one ever saw or heard from the nameless heroine again. There were even rumors that I've never understood why someone would go to such lengths to erase themselves from public memory. It's almost as if...
We'll be sure to tell you if we manage to uncover the truth.
That's a deal. Perhaps, behind the truth of it all...
Paimon feels like we just learned so much from Xingqiu. A drought, a nameless heroine, a life of seclusion. Wait, why does the story sound super familiar?
She's real smart.
Oh, right! There's a drought in this story, too! Xingqiu, are droughts super common in Liyue or something?
Well, they used to be. But, so while droughts do happen from time to time, they are rarely regarded as true disasters. The crops withered, the streams ran dry, and the monsters in the mountains became rabid and agitated. Countless caravans were attacked.
That sounds awful!
Yeah, and that's exactly why the nameless heroine was so beloved. She must have been still. As terrible as that drought was, it was nothing compared to the truly calamitous. They say that back in those days, disasters were both more severe and more common. Only the... Do you have any other questions?
We're good for now. We're just going
That's
to
how they know each other, I
with
think.
Miss Xianyun and the others again. Paimon hopes that Granny Yuendai will be able to remember more of her past. She used to be a great... Anyway, we'll be off now. See you some other time, Xing...
It's no problem at all.
Okay, so there's a drought, and we know that Cloud Retainer dispersed one. And then there was like evil spirits and kind of like bandits. that were around with this drought. I guess it caused chaos, and I think that that's how the lady, she was the one, the heroine who fought them off. But then something happened. Did she get possessed, or like? That's the thing. Like possession makes the most sense because she got possessed fighting all these evil spirits and whatever, and lost her memory, which is why she just disappeared because she didn't know that she did all of that. She just lost her memory. Cloud Retainer has to have known about it. But Cloud Retainer's saying that she isn't possessed. So what is it? What's that missing
I have
piece?
recorded the tune that you requested.
It has to be with Madame
Hopefully
Ping.
of help to you.
Oh, thank you. Straight word, but
Is she cursed?
what has amused you so?
Oh, it's no serious matter. I was just reminiscing about the last time I saw you in this form. Time has wrought such change in this world, and yet you appear just the same as ever.
Time has little bearing on one's existence, nor has one keenly felt its effects whilst dwelling at Mount Outsong. Nevertheless, Ping, one would like to seek your counsel on a personal matter.
Oh, why so formal all of a sudden? I must say, you're making me a little nervous. What is...
Well, the inquiry is as such. Approximately how much more would one need to afford a comfortable life in the harbor? Not unlike the one that you yourself lead.
It does not require as much as you may think.
Cloud Retainer, Madam Ping! What are you two talking
Aw, so she's gonna live here with Ganyu and Shenhe so she can be close to them? Yo, she's an Adeptus though. Are they really gonna make her pay? Like, Zhongli's not gonna come in and hook her up and just be like, okay, like, here you go, you're fine.
Nothing save for some trivial matters. Have you
Shincho has a theory, but let's save it for when Chuyu and Miss Yundai have joined up with us again.
I don't know if I'm wrong here, but this whole thing is screaming Zhao. Like, we're in Leeway, we got evil spirits and possessions and curses. I just feel like he's gonna come up here. I would be surprised if he isn't, but I don't think he would.
Here.
Thank you. What do you think, Chuyu? Does it match up with what you know of your granny?
According to the story, the nameless heroine eventually fell in love with an exorcist from Mount Tianheng. Maybe that's my grandpa. I don't have many memories of him, but there was this one time I found a box in her attic full of a bunch of weird sigils. I think so too. Granny might remember something once she's returned to a familiar place.
What marvelous tea. It's as if I was taking a stroll in the mountains, thoroughly one with nature, and at peace.
Is that so? Then please drink as much as you like. There's no need to hurry. At our age, it's always nice to slow down and take the time to appreciate pleasant conversation among friends.
Yo, not even at their age, at any age. That's a big thing to remember and just focus on.
Thank you.
Just hanging out with good people.
Okay, since we have the time, can I ask you something?
Sure thing. What would you like to know?
I like how Paimon's so sweet with her. The only person
I
Paimon's
have a
nice to.
secret I want to tell you. Let's go talk over there.
What's wrong, Chuyu?
Well, I've been kind of meaning to ask ever since we started talking in the restaurant, but are you guys all adepti in disguise?
Oh! About that.
Well, you guys just seem super special. Plus, I think I might have heard Miss Xianyun call herself an adeptus.
Oh, must have been a slip of the tongue. Xianyun, since you were the one who, misspoke, maybe you can explain to Chuyu here what you really meant by that.
One is indeed an adeptus. Is that of some concern to you?
Don't kill her.
I knew it.
She's a good kid.
One time when I was a little kid, I saw a pure white illuminated crane. I had this super high fever, and Granny wasn't around. I was feeling all icky and gross. But then this snowy white crane flew down from the sky. She put me on her back and flew me to her cool Adeptus house and fed me some sort of magic potion. When I woke up, I was already back in my bed and my fever was gone.
Yo, in all seriousness, this just tracks back to my jokes at the restaurant where she's just kidnapping people.
I really wanted to thank her.
Then threatening them. Don't say anything.
So I just kind of wanted to ask if maybe any of you have ever met an Adeptus like that?
A pure white illuminated crane? The only two we've ever met are blue and white and black and brown. Have you ever met one that's pure white, Cloud Retainer?
Never has one met an Adeptus with such features. One surmises such a description is but a hyperbolic embellishment that oft results from narrative accounts.
She's lying to people again. I think it's her. Because if she can switch forms, I'm pretty sure she can switch what her color pattern is on her crane form. I think it could have been her.
That's weird. Was it really just a dream then? Well, even if it was just in my head, it doesn't matter that much anyway. All I really want is to help Granny recover her memories. I'm really grateful for all your help.
Leave it to us! Now that we know the 3 locations, let's go to Wangshu Inn first!
Okay, I'll go get Granny.
If Zhao's gonna be in this is where we're gonna find him.
Wangshu
It would make sense. He's on the banners.
Wangshu Inn.
Do you remember this place, Granny?
Yes. The fish here is very delicious. I believe I used to have a room here. It had a window. Yes.
I'll come with.
Hyman's still having some trouble understanding what she's talking about, but if she's so familiar with this place, that must mean she lived here, right? Whoa! Stop! What are you doing here all of a sudden? You scared the living
What'd I say?
out of Paimon!
What'd I say? This screams Zhao. This entire quest has been screaming Zhao from the beginning. And then if we're gonna meet him anywhere, it's gonna be here. Called that. Just drained it. Nothing but net.
I sensed a non-human presence and decided to come take a look.
She is. She's cursed or possessed. And Cloud Retainer has to know. How does Zhao know? And he's not even there. But Cloud Retainer's like, no, I think she's good. I love Cloud Retainer. Let's get that out of the way real quick. But she's gaslighting people. She is gaslighting people. Even her own child.
If you're here, then there's likely no trouble afoot. I suppose there's no cause for concern. It's been a while, Cloud Retainer. I see you have returned to your previous form.
It looks so similar. Like, so similar.
I have indeed. I fought alongside her in this form on many occasions during the Archon War.
They look like mother and son.
Oh, wow! What was she like during the war? Oh, wait, let Paimon take a guess. Was it anything like this?
Behold, the glory of one's newest invention, the Bang Bang continuous fire mechanism. Hands up and surrender, or be prepared to face the full might of the Adepti.
An impressive imitation.
Zhao's like spot on.
Paimon knows her all too well.
Even so, Cloud Retainer was not always as ostentatious as you describe. You may be unaware, but her talent with Adepti sigils is just as formidable as her skill in mechanics.
Oops.
The Archon War reached its peak after Guizhong's death. The Cloud Retainer who fought beside me in those devastating battles was taciturn and solemn, only speaking when she had to activate her sigils.
A Cloud Retainer who barely talks? Paimon can't picture it. But what happened after that? If you were so powerful in your human form, why did you decide to take up your bird form again?
I feel like she doesn't talk that much now. She seems pretty reserved and kind of like she doesn't want to be in the attention, even though she kind of likes it. Like she feels like she like you can tell like especially when it's Ganyu, she has to take that backseat kind of form where like she cares and she like really cares about them supporting, but like she doesn't want to like be overbearing or be like right in there. She just wants to be like, oh, like just checking in, like you okay, you good, everything okay, okay, you know what I mean? Instead of like
Once one had
overbearing.
bid farewell to the world of mortals, what use would one still have for such a shape?
I feel like Ganyu and Chen are also like that, where like they're really caring and stuff, but they don't want to get directly involved. They kind of just want to stay on the outside.
When dwelling between mountain and forest, away from the
I guess they're all
struggles
shy.
and troubles of the mortal world, a mortal form is hardly the most fitting of choice.
After the war, Cloud Retainer retired to Mount Outsong, only revealing herself to the occasional visitor, and always in her avian form. Although I do believe there was an occasion some 30-odd years ago, when she decided to don her human form. I believe it was for the purpose of...
One believes there is little need to relive bygone matters.
Granny, are you okay?
Back then.
Perhaps this conversation should end here. I shall take my leave now.
It is. He's referring to the
Should
granny,
you encounter
who's not
any trouble,
human.
You need only call my name. However, given that you are traveling with Cloud Retainer, I trust you are in good hands.
That's so cool.
Everyone, I think Granny is finally beginning to remember her past.
Zhao really is such a cool character.
Slowly now, calm your mind and recount what has been recalled.
A long time ago, I stayed here to recuperate from my illness.
Huh. So what Shinjo said was true. You did fall ill. Was that why you went into
I don't remember. I'm very sorry, but I can't even remember the name of my illness. The only thing I can remember is that it took a great toll on me.
Okay.
And there was no cure for it.
That's what it is. So the same thing happened with Chi-Chi and Shenhe. Right? Kind of with Shenhe? Where, like, I know Chi-Chi, she got really sick, and then the Adeptus gave her some of the power to kind of help heal her, because it was incurable, and then they put a bunch of seals on her, which made her a little slower. I think. I'm not good with lore. But I'm pretty sure she was sick. They probably healed her, but it had a side effect of memory loss and a kind of confusion. I think Cloud Retainer noticed that and remembered her instantly and was kind of like, okay, that's bad. Maybe let's fix this. And that's why she got that thing from the granny, from Madam. So I think that's what it is. I think she never fully recovered from it. I think the Adeptus tried to help heal her, but it did not necessarily work. It had some long-term effect, and that is the confusion and the dementia-like symptoms.
I was confined to my room in Wangshu Inn, where I spent many days unconscious. I'd come to every once in a while and stare at the migrating birds outside the window. It was a solemn sight. One day, I met a traveling merchant. Upon hearing of my illness, he sold me a bottle of soul-revitalizing tea pills.
That doesn't sound like a scam or anything.
He told me that the pills were concocted using Adepti blood and could be used to alleviate my symptoms. Sure enough, I made a full recovery.
How do you even get Adepti blood? Like it's just casually on the corner store.
Wait, but if your illness remained dormant for several decades, are you saying that what you're going through now is just a relapse of what happened all those years ago? And it was all thanks to the pills that you managed to keep the symptoms in check? Paimon's brain kinda hurts. Do you remember anything else?
I'm sorry, I don't.
Hey, you're not useless. You've done so much for me. Watched me grow up. Raised me. Could you say...
Oh, fret not, dear child.
The recovery of a person's memories is a gradual process. Finding pieces of one's past is...
Next location. Oh, why don't we go to the area north of Dwayun Karsn? There isn't really a landmark there, so where should we start? Oh, Paimon's got it. Let's check out the houses in the area first. After all, if she was there for any length of time, then she would have stayed somewhere, right? Oh, Paimon's really got her thinking cap on today. At this rate, we'll recover all of Granny Wendai's memories in no time.
Alright, it's definitely with the Adepti. There's something up where which is the closest one? Okay. Yeah, something messed with the memories. Could be the Adepti blood. That's where I might have gotten it confused. Just someone gave her it. I think it actually did have Adepti blood, but it was probably like mixed with something. I don't know.
Whoa, why are there so many treasure hoarders here? Guess it's time
No,
to
there
round up
were so many treasure hoarders here. Now there's not.
Do you remember anything about this place, Granny Wendai?
Wait, isn't this the chief's place? Wasn't this with Beto's quest? And this is where like the village chief lived?
Let me think. I feel like but I don't think I stayed here too long. I might have just rested here briefly before continuing on my way.
Got it. That's okay. There are still plenty of other places we can check.
That's good, because from Beto's quest, pretty sure the people here suck. There's only one bird around here on this quest.
I don't remember this place at all. I don't think I've ever been here before. Still, I was thinking, this place feels perfect for a game of hide and
Huh? Why a game?
I'm not sure. Maybe it's because I used to play that game a lot with Shuyu when
I don't remember playing it that much. Are you sure about that, Granny? We only played a few times, and we stopped once we realized I was no good at the whole seeking part.
Ah, is that so?
Maybe she played it a lot when she was a kid.
Not here then. Let's try somewhere else. Hyman sees an abandoned house. Why don't we take a break over there?
This place, it's...
Did you remember something, Granny?
I remember. Shuyu, this is where your father was born. It was a moonless night. I had been injured, so your grandpa was supporting me. We fled together with some being in the fog behind us in hot pursuit. I had exhausted my strength when the labor pains came on, so we took refuge in this house. Your grandpa set up a barrier outside, but
So she
neither
was
of us
the
knew if it
heroine.
could hold the monsters back. I remember that night. I remember falling to my knees, reciting, "I alone am the source of this sin. Punish me as you wish for forsaking my oath.
The source of the
Spare
sin?
my innocent child."
Sin? Oath?
I don't know. I don't remember. I only remember praying in the darkness with all my strength. Eventually, the house was filled with the sound of my baby's first cries. That baby was your father. I remember I clutched him tight to my chest and wept tears of joy. It was the first time I'd ever felt such happiness in my life.
My dad?
He was my pride and joy. And so are you, Shuyu. You're so much like him, and I love you both so much. But you're always going to be different from me. Why? Just what did I do?
I don't know what's going on here.
I don't care what you might have done.
It's the piece I'm missing.
You'll always be the person I love more than anything.
You're too sweet, Shuyu. I'm lucky to have you with me. If not for you, I would not have had the courage to come here, to try to remember what I had forgotten. All right, let's not stand around any longer.
Does this place feel familiar to you?
Let me see.
Beautiful view.
How strange. Have I lived here before? When we were at Wangshu Inn and the abandoned house earlier, though I couldn't remember everything, I still felt a sense of familiarity. I could easily picture myself in those places. But here, I don't have that feeling. Perhaps I did come here in the past, but it just didn't leave a strong impression on me.
But did the stories get it wrong then? Yeah, that's true. But they're also the only thing we have to go off of. Paimon was hoping this place would jog Granny Yuendai's memory just like the others.
I'm sorry to disappoint you too.
It's all right. We're not going to give up yet. We'll figure something else out. Just you wait.
Thank you. Huh? That way. What's that mountain?
Oh, let Paimon look! Huh? Isn't that Mount Outsong? Looks like we've come full circle.
Mount Outsong. Mount Outsong.
Granny, are you okay? Don't push yourself, Granny. It's okay if you can't remember. You shouldn't do something that makes you sad.
Mount Outsong, What am I really?
Mount Outsong holds some familiarity to you?
You know, I swear, at the end, we just forgot that she's just gaslighting people. Like, this place reminds you of something? Even though I know I healed you here, and you stayed here for a little bit?
It does, but
Are you feeling unwell?
Are you... Yo, if she's a part of this, and she helped her out, then she is the biggest gaslighter of Genshin.
My head... It feels all heavy and...
I hope that's not true. I hope Cloud Retainer has nothing to do with any of this. And I'm completely wrong. But if I'm right,
Let us go to
I'm pulling for her. I'm pulling for her.
But...
Fret not, all will be well. You may leave the rest to me. I've prepared something that can aid you in suppressing the fear in your heart and restoring your lost memories. It currently resides at Mount Outsong.
Wait, really? When did you do that?
I never leave anything to chance. All will reveal itself when we arrive.
Come on, just tell Paimon already! What's...
Here.
Huh? But isn't this the mechanism that you were tinkering with when we first got here?
Precisely. A recent one at that. I am most pleased with the result. I call it the Suspensus Somnium mechanism. It periodically releases a soft breeze, which when paired with a gentle adeptal tune, can help the listener subconsciously relax, soothing agitation and anxiety, relieving exhaustion and insomnia. Its potential uses are numerous indeed. And of course, it can also aid in the recovery of lost memories.
Why didn't you just sell these inventions? She seems really good at inventing stuff. If she needs more to live in leeway to be with Shenhe and Ganyu, I'm surprised she wouldn't just like start selling this stuff and just make a ton of money.
Whoa, what a cool gadget! But if you had it all along, why did you keep it to yourself until just now? We could have come to Mount Outsong right off the bat and saved Paimon a lot of floating.
That's what I'm saying, Paimon. She's up to something.
How preposterous. Had Yuendai not recalled much of her past through her own efforts, the device would have nothing to draw upon. We Adepti can only help those who first resolve to help themselves. Had she lacked such determination and strength of character, one would have little to offer in way of assistance.
Paimon thinks she gets it now. Hey, what's that other thing?
As previously mentioned, a gentle adeptal tune is required to take full advantage of the mechanism. One secured such a tune from Streetward Rambler. Only with her melodies can the mechanism reach its peak power.
Whoa, Paimon can feel what you mean.
And you, Yuendai, is the mechanism helping you to relax? It appears she has already succumbed to the depths of reverie. Come, join one on this side. We shall give her some time to herself.
The drought is over. But why do you look like you want to cry?
The potion. It's nearly run its course.
I've never regretted meeting you. Not even for a second.
Please. Please, no.
That looks awesome.
Have you forgotten? This is the world you left behind. One of gentle breeze and morning dew, perfectly straddled betwixt the realms of heaven and earth. This is your home. This is where you belong. You should have never left. The you of the past, the me from not that long ago. We should have never.
So is she always the white crane, and then she took a potion to have a human form? I missed so much of this. I was completely wrong, I think, about a lot of this. Except for Zhao. I nailed that.
So that is the truth. No wonder this place is so familiar.
But that means Cloud Retainer knows her. I have 5 pulls. Listen, if it comes out that Cloud Retainer's been gaslighting this entire quest, I'm using the 5 on her.
Cloud Retainer.
Your memories have returned.
Wait, did you just call her by her phone? You already knew each other?
Yes. I now... Granny,
We're pulling her.
oh, don't worry, my
We're pulling her.
child. Granny is fine. I'm so sorry, everyone. You've gone to so much trouble on my behalf. It's all come back to me now. The most important thing that I had forgotten was the truth of what I once was.
One can sense the guilt that now plagues your conscience. Reclaiming a truth long buried is sure to come with a myriad of complex emotions. Perhaps one should recount the story on your behalf while you compose yourself.
No, it's okay. Now that I've remembered, I must face my memories head on. Shuyu, everyone, I cannot thank you enough for
All right.
all your help.
Here we go.
I'm ready to tell you my story.
Please, Granny, don't force yourself. What happened in the past doesn't matter. I love you more than anything.
Alright, this kid needs an award. Greatest kid. And then Cloud Retainer needs an award. Biggest gaslighter.
I know, dear child. My feelings for you are exactly the same. It is for some time ago. I made a terrible mistake. One for which I could never atone.
Is this the sin that you mentioned in Xianyun Karst? What happened?
I am, in truth, not a human being. My real form, one that I held for centuries, was that of a wild crane. I spent many, many years living on Mount Outsong, bathing in the soft breeze and drinking the sweet dew of the mountains. At some point, I somehow gained wisdom and sentience. The Lord of the Mountain, Cloud Retainer, became aware of my existence and began to share many stories with me. She even passed on the secret of cultivation to me. Though she never took me on as a formal disciple, I always saw her as my master. Whenever she took out her tools to work on mechanisms or new inventions, I would also stand next to her and watch. I even contemplated completing my training and becoming an adeptus in my own right. I followed her teachings, and time gradually passed us by. Until that fateful day 50 years ago.
50 years ago?
That's right. Master regaled me with many stories of her past deeds. From them, I learned how she had saved people. She was the one I looked up to the most. More than anything, I dreamt of becoming an adeptus like her. I wanted to travel the land like she had, relieving suffering wherever I went, but I was still far from being a real adeptus. I possessed no ability to take on human form and fit in with the crowd. Once she learned of my desires, Master prepared a special dose of human mimicry potion for me. She warned me that the potion's effects would only last 10 years, and if I were to fail to return to my original form at the end of that time, I would forever forget my past as a crane and become something neither human, beast, nor adeptus.
Oh no. So that was the source of your dimension.
Was it because of...
Indeed, I fell in love. Though he was human, he had spent his entire life training on Mount Tianheng. When we met, it was not only my first foray into the world below, but his as well. Although clumsy and impulsive as he was, you'd think he was the real strange bird among the two of us. But still, just like me, he cared deeply about the world and wanted, more than anything, to cleanse it of all pain and suffering. I could not help but fall for him. But my time continued to tick away.
So how did she have kids then?
Years passed by in a flash.
How'd that work?
Yet I did
Well, I knew
not
how it
want to
worked,
be
but she's not human.
So I...
Oh no. What happened?
I committed an offense. I wanted to stay with him, even if it meant living a life full of pain and suffering, even if it meant that I would eventually turn into a monstrosity. I knew I had betrayed Master's hopes, but I was too ashamed to face her. So I wrote her a long letter instead and asked someone to leave it outside her abode. I was convinced that she would not support my decision, and I lacked the courage to speak to her face to face. But that was only the beginning of my troubles. I began to suffer from a strange illness. My memories became hazy and confused, and I could no longer keep myself awake. I understood that my pain was caused by my refusal to return to the life I was fated to lead. Along with my memories as a crane, I soon forgot the true cause of my suffering as well. I knew only that I had committed a sin. All I could do was pray for forgiveness, even if I had long forgotten what needed to be forgiven. Looking back, I was beyond lucky to have come across that traveling merchant at Wangshu Inn. It was such a fortunate coincidence that we were there at the same time.
Granny, what's wrong?
Coincidence? Why did I ever think it was a coincidence? Tea pills concocted using the blood of an adeptus? No, it couldn't be. Master, don't tell me. Back then...
We're also going to get Adepti blood. You have a better chance of fighting a dragon with a spoon.
Human custom would dictate the conferral of gifts to be in order when one's progeny is wedded, would it not? Consider the pills a symbol of one's best wishes.
So when I tried to conceal my name and mistakes from the world and hide myself away in perpetuity, the only person I managed to deceive was myself. You knew where I was all along.
That was amazing. And that is her personality. She's so caring, but it's always in the background. It's always in the background. It's always without their knowing or doesn't want them to know, and always done in secret.
One still remembers when you were but a fledgling. You possessed a certain fondness for a particular game.
Hide and seek.
You would hide yourself among a group of wild cranes and ask one to pick you out from among the flock. One found you with such ease every time. 'Tis a truth most evident. One always recognizes one's own, no matter what...
Wait! Paimon's confused!
Shocker.
So, Cloud Retainer, you found Yuendai again? But how? When? And what happened after that?
Perhaps it is now time for one to recount the rest of the tale.
Just gonna like the movie now, like a scene? Oh.
One was furious upon receiving your letter. Seized with anger,
Yo, she
one
is
set out
so fun to
bring you
run
your
around
senses.
with.
Skyward, scatter!
I hate when they do that, when they force you to look at something. Yeah, I know. Please, let me go look at something else. Thank you. It's like they break your neck. Like, hey, look at that. Like, thank you. I got whiplash now.
In truth, one had more than a few misgivings about your chosen partner. As an exorcist, his talent was lacking. One could hardly say his skill with sigils was any better. But soon, one came to appreciate the devotion he bestowed upon you during your illness. He never uttered a complaint and rarely left your side.
Good man.
Unwilling to begrudge someone of such character, one decided to overlook his aforementioned deficiencies. Glaring though they may have been, wishing to grant you a life without regrets, one gathered many divine ingredients and used one's own blood to create a form of medicine. Though imperfect, it managed to suppress the more dire effects of your illness. As for how to deliver the medicine, after much, one took great care to alter one's features and select the appropriate attire. Only after meticulous scrutiny did one
She
finally
put on a
set out
mustache
for
and a
one
beard. And that was her alter one's features and select the appropriate attire. That's her grand disguise. Just like put on a hat. And like, okay, no one will ever notice me now. That's hilarious.
As one expected, you were most ignorant of one's true identity. You showed not even the slightest inkling of recognition.
That's so sad. You can tell she's pissed about that. She's so annoyed. Like, thanks. You didn't even notice me. Like, Shenhe noticed me, but you didn't. Even though I let you be human.
One was quite torn. Should one have celebrated the success of one's disguise, or mourn the loss of your acquaintance?
This place looks cool. Hopefully we are on our way there. Yeah, she is so fun to do this stuff with. I got 5 pulls. We'll see if it works.
Skyward! Skyward! Nevertheless, one would speak to you about another matter.
We're stuck. She's gonna
If you
die.
are amenable,
She's gonna
even
die.
considering your loss.
No, she's gonna die. It's karma. I'm gonna do it again. Oh, thank God. You didn't see anything. Nothing happened. Ooh. Oh, we're looking at stuff.
Scatter! Skyward! Scatter! Skyward! Skyward! Scatter! Stray clouds converge! Skyward!
So this is the night where she had the kid. I wonder if she delivered the baby. Because the woman doesn't remember. She's like, I kind of just woke up one day and there was a kid.
Seize the skies! Those monsters would hardly have pursued you with such ferocity without sufficient incentive. They were likely incited by the presence of godly remains. Said godly remains, in turn, one was, after all, an active participant in the Archon War. Some of the gods were likely shattered by contraptions of one's very making. In the end, one was relieved to see you endure through the night. At the break of dawn, one heard an infant's cry pierce through the air, and one saw you carefully cradle the child to your chest. Although certain mortal matters remain foreign to me, one could not help but be moved by your joy to see you happy.
Aww. She really is the best.
Now you should have a complete understanding of the events.
Wait, but if that's true, then the crane who took care of me when I was sick must also be...
Ah, one had almost neglected to recount the absurdities of that tale.
Wait, you're not gonna say it? Was I right? Was it her? She said the white crane, but then her grandma was the white crane. So which one was it? Was it right that she could change her form? Or was it the grandma that helped her?
Just as you and I troubled one with her antics, so did you give one many a headache. Upon finding you burning with fever, one made plans to bring you back to one's...
I knew it! She gaslit the kid!
However, upon seeing one's form, you began to cry, refusing to get on one's back. When one asked you why, apparently you believed that one could not possibly be a true Adeptus, because all illuminated...
I knew it! She could change her appearance as a crane as well!
One had no choice but to apply powder to one's body to conceal the
Called that
variegated
one.
nature of one's appearance.
We did it, boys. We did it.
More than amenable enough when one stood before you devoid of any other coloring. It bears mentioning, however, that as a crane, Yuendai was nearly entirely pure white in color. Though you had never encountered her in that form, you still recognize the essence of her being. Perhaps fate brought you two together.
Alright, so we wait until the end of the quest to pull her.
Now all... One owes you an apology, you and I. One recognized you upon your very entrance into Wanmin Restaurant.
Yeah, it was obvious.
One has always viewed you as a disciple of equal standing with Ganyu and Shenhe. Indeed, one wished to bring your story to a satisfactory end with this visit to Liu. Still, one could not reveal your identity right away. Had one simply informed you of all you had lost, all those cherished memories would merely have become the fictionalized account of another. Memories are most meaningful when recalled by those who lived through them. Would you not agree?
She's still gaslit.
Even if the
We're not getting
process
past that.
was painful and arduous to experience.
Master, I must ask. If you found me all those years ago, why did you leave me be, even though you knew about my mistake? Why did you not bring me back to Mount Outsong by force?
One has never regarded your action as a mistake. It was a simple choice, nothing more. When it is time for one's progeny to leave the nest, it is the responsibility of an elder to let them fly free. Yet, when your wings grow weary and the night grows dark, just know that you always have a place to which to return.
Aww.
'Tis a refuge referred to by many a name in mortal writing. Home, nest, haven. Whatever its denomination may be, its essence remains quite unchanged. One speaks, of course, of a place not unlike one's own abode. One's disciples are free to come and go as they wish, yet the door remains forever open to those who wish to return. One rather hopes you count yourself among them.
Thank you. Thank you.
One expects you too have sensed the rapid deterioration of your condition as of late. 40 years ago, you chose a path without a future. Though one used one's own blood to provide you with a few decades of extra time, it merely delayed the inevitable. One may have extended the path, yet one was unable to alter its final destination. Even the power of an Adeptus has its limits. Had your condition continued to deteriorate, you would have forgotten your life as a human entirely. In the end, you would have turned into a creature lacking in the ability to even comprehend its own monstrousness. Fortunately, You were able to avoid that scenario by reclaiming your memories. Though one sped the process along by providing some guidance, the result is entirely a reflection of your own effort.
So, what's gonna happen to Granny?
One will help her reclaim her original form as a wild crane. If it be fated, she may recover her sentience one day.
She's gotta go back to being a regular crane, huh?
Master,
Like, that's not that bad. At least she's
more
alive.
than enough for me. I don't know how I could possibly repay your kindness. This is a better result than I could have ever hoped for. How much time do I have left?
Not long. The transformation is imminent.
Granny, please don't leave, okay? You're all I have left.
Don't be sad, dear child. Granny has led a wonderful life. My only regret.
Can't you still be with her? She's just gonna be a crane.
Don't forget to eat well, okay? A growing young lady like yourself needs lots of good food to grow big and strong. Promise Granny you'll take good care of yourself when I'm gone.
I promise, Granny.
And I'm gonna guess Cloud Tanner's gonna take care of the kid. I'm guessing Cloud Tanner's gonna get a place in Leeway and have her live there too.
Good girl. Don't worry. It's not goodbye forever. Granny's gonna become the most formidable crane in all of Mount Outsung.
Where's the
Granny
place
will
just for
train
her?
Day and night. I won't stop until I can turn into a human without having to rely on anything but my own power. When that day comes, we'll be able to live together again. You and I. How's that sound? That's a good girl. Even though we won't see each other for a little while, as long as we both work hard, we're sure to meet again someday.
Reminds him of his sister.
I'll eat well, Granny. I promise. And I'll wait for you, no matter how long it takes. I'll wait for you to come back.
That's a good girl. Then Granny really has no more regret. I'm so sorry, Master.
Aww.
Xianyun.
Let her be. At her age, crying is a natural, if not fitting, response to such an event.
The crab. Oh, my camera's in the way. There's just a crab creeping around in the corner.
Tears are a necessary part of maturation. Sometimes there is scarcely a better vehicle to wash away
Alright, now you're gonna say that you're gonna take care of the kid.
The issue has been resolved. You should also take a moment to relax. Give yourself some time to rest. Take a nap if you must.
Already? It's been like 30 minutes. What happened to training all day and night? Look, I'm happy for her that's sick, but alright. Where's this a dream? Aww. Please don't be a dream.
I always believed we would see each other again. That our days of separation would finally end. And all my troubles would be behind me.
Be real, don't be a dream.
If only things could stay this way forever.
You know what? At least the sister's back in the picture, or the sibling's back in the picture. Because for a while we just stopped asking about her, and there was been no focus on reuniting with them again.
Curious. If you're relaxed, shouldn't your dreams be pleasant?
It was a good dream. It's just...
You weren't ready to wake up.
Oh, she's mothering hard right now.
Eloquent as one may be, words of comfort are not one's strong suit. You are doing all you can. One can see your strength of will, your fearlessness in the face of danger. And so, whatever your dream may be, one believes that you shall achieve it. Of course, whenever the perils you face overwhelm you, or you become weary, one is always here for you. After all, as an elder, it is only right to look out for the young ones.
Grilled chicken drumsticks.
And throw her in the lake.
Was Paimon sleeping just now? Oh, Paimon wasn't talking to you. Paimon had a dream about eating grilled chicken drumsticks.
Madam...
Oh, Xianyun, you're awake. How did...
I feel... a little better. Thanks. I know I'll see Granny again someday, so I don't feel so sad anymore.
I'm surprised this didn't take place in the new area.
Madam, Adeptus? Could I, ask you something? Would you take me in as a disciple?
Me too, if we're putting in applications.
Oh. And I know Granny thought what she did back then was wrong. She felt really bad about it, but without that mistake, I would have never been born. Even though Granny lost her memories, she never forgot to show me how much she loved me. So, I thought maybe one day I could become a cool Adeptus like you and help a whole bunch of people, just like Granny wanted to do.
Upon some reflection, one supposes you are no mere mortal. The fact that Yuendai's blood flows through your veins is proof enough of that. If this is what you desire, one shall make it so.
Thank you so much, Madam Adeptus.
Xianyun, are you sure Paimon's gonna let you in on a little secret? We've seen Cloud Retainer's 2 other disciples, and they pretty much eat nothing but bitter herbs like Genshin and violet grass.
They're strong, though.
If you join them, you'll never enjoy One Min Restaurant's delicious cooking ever again.
How utterly preposterous. One has never enforced such a rule. Every individual must find their own path to enlightenment. So long as one retains a pureness of spirit, one's dietary proclivities are quite irrelevant.
Well, you say that, but Paimon's not seeing any tasty treats up here now, is she?
That's the Paimon we know and love. She's back to being feisty.
Although Mount Outsong is rich in natural beauty, its location does preclude access to certain finer mortal comforts. That is precisely why one plans to relocate to Liyue Harbor.
No.
You shall have the honor of becoming one's first disciple in the human world.
Whoa, you're leaving Mount Outsong?
One has never concerned oneself with the location of one's residence. from the very beginning, one has sought only solace and peace.
Yo, this mountaintop is gorgeous, though. That's hard to walk away from.
Yet in the end, all of one's disciples ended up in Liyue Harbor. Ganyu, Shenhe, Yuandai, they all chose a life among the mortal world. One has reflected on this fact for many years now. One can only assume that it is due to some failing on one's part as an elder or master. If one is most curious as to what aspect of Liyue Harbor could have enticed them to remain there, one could hardly offer an opinion on the matter. Why are you all so sad?
Paimon is, just a bit shocked.
One has precious little time to squander. However, if one finds oneself otherwise unoccupied, one would not be opposed to the idea. One will be assuming the identity of a human while residing in Liyue Harbor. You should take care to avoid disclosing one's true identity.
Don't worry, we'll help you keep it a secret. So,
Everyone's gonna know.
When can we expect to start seeing you in the city?
Perhaps in 2 days' time. One has some matters to see to before one's departure. Preparation is the key to success, after all. One plans to put up various items from one's collection for sale. The earnings should provide for a comfortable living in Liyue Harbor. One has already picked out a handsome property near Chuhu Rock. 'Tis no small purchase, but what is mortal life if not one expense after another?
Seems like you've really thought of everything. Then how about we meet up in Liyue Harbor?
A sensible plan. Oh, also, why don't you take this suspensus somnium mechanism as a souvenir? Anytime you should feel ill at ease in the future, you may try quieting your mind and sitting in meditation as you listen to its melodies. It might help you find a new perspective.
We could use to shut up Paimon every now and then.
Awesome! Hey, didn't we promise Shincho that we'd tell him what we found out?
Alright. We're gonna do this now then. 5 pulls. Listen, I'm gonna say this. I started this banner off with 0 pity. I went to 95 pity, lost the 50-50 for Nahida, and got Mona, which I am stoked about. Not stoked about 95 pity. And then it went to like 78 pity and finally got Nahida. So my luck on this banner is awful. So let's see if in this 5 pulls, we'll do 6. We can turn that around. I doubt it though. But maybe. We're doing the quest. The Gaslit Queen. I think she wants to see what's up. Can we get a pull in 6 pity? Probably not. Wishful thinking, but it's impossible until it's possible. Can you imagine? He's C5. I mean, if I get him C6, that'd be cool, kind of cool. 4 though. Okay, that's not enough. All right. Don't worry. Don't. Shh. You ready? This is it. Right here. This is her. C6 though? And they're C6. Okay, so we didn't get them, but we got C6, and we got one more wish. So 7 pity and a dream. 7 pity and a dream. Now, if that turned gold, I mean, would have been a beautiful end to this video, but alright, let's go see what they want in 2 days. I know I have another achievement, but right now it's at 699, so we're going to keep that. For no particular reason. For no reason at all. Ah, that's unfortunate. That this banner doesn't like me, dude. It does not like me. I was hoping not to spend that many wishes, and then I burned through the rest of them for Nahida. So, she's worth it, but unless we have C6 coming now. Honestly, if I got Cloud Retainer, I'd probably build a team, because using them in the trial was broken. Where are you, Gaming? Where are you, buddy? There he is. That's insane. Crit rate by 20 and crit damage by 40. I really did need that. Maybe they'll give us a free pull here. Where's our free 10 pull? If I got that, I could use that on her. We'll see.
Your concerns are excessive and unfounded. This is but a simple collection of ordinary valuables. Such intense scrutiny is hardly necessary.
To be quite honest, your insistence on that fact is my primary cause. In what way are any of these ordinary? Every single item here could be worth more than everything I own combined. I simply can't risk shelling out that kind of mora without proper scrutiny. If I'm wrong, I would never be able to earn it back, not even if I worked every single day for the rest of my life. I have to be careful. Yes, you can never.
We're here, Clow. Miss Xianyun, what are you guys arguing about?
Ah, perfect timing. This ignoramus is questioning the authenticity of my wares.
Wonder where Shenhe gets it from.
I'll have you know, these items have remained untouched in my personal collection for several hundred years. To question their legitimacy is pure folly. Indeed. They're family heirlooms, you see. Passed down over many generations.
Yep, they've definitely been around a while. We can vouch for her on that one.
Hear that? Had I not found myself in need of mora, I would scarcely have had the heart to part with them. Indeed, you should consider it an honor to even have the opportunity to behold them with your own eye. Doubt their authenticity any further, and I may just decide to take them to another buyer.
She's good.
Whoa, please don't go! I apologize for any insult, miss. You see, I know full well that I lack the knowledge to judge the true worth of these items. If you could wait but a moment.
An expert, you say? Very well. I will wait for a little while longer, then. Traveler, Paimon.
Master! Oh, it's you two again.
Xianyun! You got a new outfit! It looks great on you.
She's gonna end up being a cryo user. I bet 20 bucks on it. She's gonna get a...
Master made it for me.
Oh, what's it called? A vision. It's gonna be cryo.
Huh? You know how to...
Do I know how to make clothes? With the support of the proper mechanism, sewing.
Master, I brought in most of my stuff. There's a few boxes left, but they're kind of heavy, so...
Fret not. I shall help you move them into your room.
Actually, I should probably, sort through my stuff a bit first. Everything's kind of messy right now, so maybe you could, not look yet, Master?
It appears my young apprentice... Now, this expert you mentioned, when can we expect their arrival?
Alright, who's it gonna be? It's gonna be someone we know.
Soon. Ah, there he is! Here, allow me to make some introductions. This is Mr. Zhongli, a well-respected consultant at Wangshang Funeral Parlor and an expert in all manner of valuables and antiques.
This guy is so stupid. He's got no idea. This is the Geo Archon, and this is an Adeptus.
Mr. Zhongli, this is Miss Xianyun. She's the one who's looking to sell the collection of valuables I mentioned earlier.
If it isn't Miss Xianyun. It has been quite some time since our last meeting.
Indeed, most serendipitous. Have you been faring well as of late, Mr. Zhongli?
Quite well, thank you. I was fortunate enough over the past few days to enjoy both a stroll in the mountains and a fresh brew of tea from the most recent harvest. The experiences left me with such insight and peace.
Huh. So you two are already acquainted?
Indeed. How fortunate we are that fate has brought us together again. If you are otherwise unaware, allow me to inform you that Miss Xianyun is a well-regarded collector and appraiser. She is well-versed in all fields, and oft-celebrated for her impeccable taste.
You are too kind, Mr. Zhongli. True collectors pride themselves on their wealth of knowledge and eye for detail. I can say without a doubt that you are foremost.
Why, you flatter me, Miss Xianyun.
Not at all.
While I am loath to butt into this conversation, I must... You two already knew each other, and you seem to have quite a cordial relationship. Can I be certain that you're not...
This guy's so dense.
A preposterous accusation. The heavens themselves would collapse before we would conspire to do such a thing.
Miss Xianyun speaks the truth. Contracts are built on honesty and trust. If that proves to be beyond your capabilities in this instance, this transaction...
They both played the same card. We'll just go to somebody else.
Let us depart.
I jest.
He falls for it every time.
Fool would still... I deeply apologize for doubting you. So, Mr. Zhongli, could you please give me a final verdict on the value of these...
There is no cause for concern. They are indeed rare and precious valuables. Take this mechanism, for instance. Though one may not immediately perceive its purpose, its structure and appearance are exquisite enough to merit it a place in any. The same can be said for this one here. Few could hope to possess an item that so perfectly blends mechanical wonder with geometric grace. I am sure you have heard from your travels that the study of mechanisms is among the most wondrous arts in this world. With that in mind, I earnestly recommend procuring every last item in this collection.
All right. Since I hired you as my consultant, Mr. Zhongli, I shall, of course, trust your good opinion. Then, in that case, Miss Xianyun, I'll take the lot. However, since the final sum...
The Northland Bank? Huh. Oh, you refer to the fiduciary.
I fear people only use the term bank nowadays.
Zhongli!
They really brought everyone out for this character quest.
We've been great. How about you? Paimon didn't know you were such a busy consultant.
My days have been quite pleasant as well. I had been quietly enjoying a cup of tea when Mr. Xiaozu requested... As for you, Miss Xianyun, I presume you must be looking to settle in the city?
I must say, the name Xianyun sounds exceedingly strange coming from you. Perhaps you could dispense of that particular epithet and further comfort.
Whatever for. Am I not addressing you as a friend should?
Well, alas, refer to me however you will. After all, a name exists such that others may address you with it. One is hardly ignorant of that fact.
It would seem that you have gained many valuable insights over the years, Cloud Retainer.
One has indeed. One's previous stays were all brief. Now that one has made up one's mind to move and settle, one has gained a much better appreciation of the hubbub and commotion of the city. This city is much changed from how it was more than 1,000 years ago.
Not unlike the ocean tides, so too shall the movement of people ebb and flow. From turmoil to peace, enlightenment to aspiration. Human society possesses limitless potential.
Alright, that's enough reflection for one day.
You make a valid point, Paimon. Now that the sale has concluded, what say one plays the host as we try some specialty dishes together? One must profess great...
Perhaps you have forgotten, Cloud Retainer, but I once tried my hand at that dish. You were at the table on that occasion, so logic dictates that you should have already tried it.
Oh? What occasion was this?
It was a reunion between friends several centuries ago. Alas, you must have been too preoccupied to secure yourself a portion. Or perhaps our other companions...
Ha! Hardly. 'Twas most certainly out of consideration for the others in attendance. In but a moment, one will show you what it means to have a true deftness of hand. It is settled then. Bamboo shoot soup, mora meat, crab roe tofu, triple layered const. One has already passed word to Shenhe and Ganyu to make a reservation. It is prime time for them to meet one's newest disciple.
It should be a...
Shu Yu, come now, it is time to dine. Ah, this gentleman over here is Mr. Zhongli.
A humble employee of Wangsheng Funeral Parlor. Pleased to make your acquaintance.
Nice to meet you too.
That should be everyone, right? What?
Sounds good. Actually, Master, have you ever tried Adeptus' temptation? I heard it's impossible to stop eating after even just one bite.
That sounds rather implausible. Although with the right preparation, certain dishes can be too delicious.
Huh? Why are you all walking so fast? Hey, wait for Paimon! Hey, wait up!
Alright, that is it. If you guys watched this whole video, that's surprising, but I appreciate it. This was an amazing character quest. I really loved it. They do such an amazing job with these all the time. The fact that they keep upping themselves is just incredible, not just with character quests, but with regions and areas and the Archon quests. It is amazing how they just keep leveling up every single time. But amazing quest, a lot of fun. Cloud Retainer is definitely the biggest gaslighter of Genshin Impact. Maybe I'll throw 1 or 2 more pulls at her, but then that's it. Then I'm done. She's amazing. I hope you guys enjoyed the character quest. If you played it, let me know your favorite part in the comments down below. But that is it. Peace.